What's good? Six here, and about to break down Wu-Tang Forever off of Young Sinatra 4 with Nick Huff.
Wu-Tang Forever.
Yo, I can't believe like we actually can talk about a song with Wu-Tang on it. Like,
Yo,
that's actually a real thing.
it is a real thing. As a producer, is it daunting to create a song for not only all the members of Wu-Tang, but for a producer who's one of the icons in hip hop is gonna be rapping over it?
You know what's really funny? Like, when Bob was like, yo, like it's gonna happen, I immediately was like, I have the beat already.
Really?
Yeah, I already had the beat actually. I actually had the, shout out to my boy Naz, man. He was on tour with us with Kyle. He's an incredible producer, works a lot with Kyle, works a lot with other people. He was on the road with us for, a month and a half, and we ended up, hanging out, becoming really good friends. And even before we started working together, because I knew he was already dope, but then like literally he's leaving tour in like 2 days, and we had like no songs together, like beats or whatever. And I was like, oh man, like, nah, we can't let that happen. And he sent over a batch of maybe like 10 ideas, no drums, nothing. And this was like one of them that I can like play the loop that I chopped up. So he had this loop. Like even that loop is cool, but I wanted to isolate that vocal, the stab, and I ended up, like I said, Fruity Slicer, which I love to do all my sample chops in. You can chop it up into different keys, so I ended up going, let's see. And that's the whole loop. And that's kind of like literally the first thing that came to my head, like when I put that in the FL Slicer, and I was just like trying to figure out like a starting point, like that's like Wu-Tang. Mm-hmm. Just like that chord, whatever that is. And this is even before the Wu-Tang thing even happened. It was just something that I was making. We were in Toronto actually, and I remember that the show was almost canceled that day because there was like a crazy thunderstorm, and we thought the show was over, so I was just like making beats in the green room, just like literally on my laptop speakers, because I just got this Mac actually too. And I was making it in the green room before the show. The show eventually happened, but I made this before, and I think that night after the show, we got like the confirmation from RZA or something maybe that it was good. Like we're making progress again, these verses and stuff. And Bob was like, yo, like we need a beat, and I was like, done. Already done. I knew like it would be cool. Like I didn't even have the drums yet or nothing, but I had this laid down already, so just had this in the grid.
So when you picked that vocal sample, you didn't know you were making a song for Wu-Tang?
Nah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just like vocals and like wanted to channel some kind of cool. Actually, the name of this beat's called Jay-Z.
Oh, crazy.
Because I thought Jay-Z would sound really cool on it. Just like that's some Jay-Z like old rock to me, a Roc-A-Fella type thing.
Some Just Blaze?
Some Just Blaze, exactly. So I had this, and that's all Logic heard when we ended up, we were outside the studio bus. He was like, yo, let me hear that beat. We go on the bus, and I just play him this. And just going through drums and stuff that I had, and this is one of the first things I like stumbled upon, which was just this break. And that's the whole beat, honestly. And then you add a kick underneath, and then a snare on top. Like not even like the hardest snare, but just something to complement that. And then you combine that with this. And then there's a switch up in the verse, so it's not the same thing. And FL Studio producers know about this, which is called gross beat, which we probably talked about on the first Bobby Tarantino 2 stuff. But there's this plugin in FL Studio called gross beat, where this is obviously without the plugin, the normal, like you hear it. But then you put this thing called gross beat on, which, you know, a lot of producers use it now. And you go to momentary, they got all these presets, you know, momentary and then half speed. So what that does is like it pitches it down and it like chops it up in a way where it slows it down by half but keeps it within the tempo. So you get this. And that so I didn't have that. Like Bob was like rapping and writing over the first part of the beat, and I like wanted to arrange it and stuff. So I wanted to create an intro. So what I did for the intro was I took that main melody loop that I chopped up, and I just put the gross beat on it for the intro. And that sounded like some like, after we put like the Wu-Tang stuff on it and like all of us were like Wu-Tang, it just felt right. Let's see. And then it goes into that to switch up to the, so going back from the intro to that is this, you take the gross beat off of it. And then back to normal. Which I'm really glad I did, because if it was just this section the whole time, there would be like no like slower part where like, cause like Method Man when he's rapping over this part of the beat, I lose my shit, bro.
That's my favorite verse on there.
Yo, it's so like I remember literally like in bed when we got the Method Man verse, like getting out of bed and being like literally like by myself, like yes, like it happened, bro. Because that was one of the last verses we got, and he's my favorite member from Wu-Tang, I think. I love all of them, but Meth to me is just like, this flow is incredible, like always.
So the beat was the way it is when he got it, that pocket was already there, or?
Yeah. So like the beat looped like for like 8 minutes probably after for all the members and stuff. So yeah, they had all variations of the beat, and
so the beat varied.
The beat varied for them too.
It's
yeah.
not like you went back. And
no. I'm sure they might have, you know, but you know when we put it into Pro Tools and Bobby Campbell like mixed it and stuff, yeah, we kept it like, you know, the arrangement Bob did for his verse. Right. So like we chopped it up for his verse, and they kind of kept that formula for everybody else.
And it just happened to be that when Meth comes in,
that part, a lot of them too. Even like Ghostface comes in on that part. Like a lot of them come in on that part for like 4 bars. This section rocks for like 2 bars. Like when people's verses start, and then like 4 bars in, that's when and then like they kind of follow that too. So it's like I'm glad I put that in and kind of gave them some room to have fun with it too. And it's just super simple beat. It was just kind of like the foundation was really good with like how the sample already from Nas was already crazy, and just like how I chopped it, like that was I already knew that was crazy just off of that. Like I even said to Bob like, oh, we got it. Just that energy alone was cool. And it sounded so different too, and from other stuff. And I could have sampled like some old Wu-Tang, like some shit that RZA would sample, but you know, I think this fit like a Bob project, like sonically.
Yeah, immerse the 2 worlds.
But Wu-Tang still sounded crazy on it. Like RZA, yo. It's still mind-blowing, like, the fact that RZA's rapping on a 6-beat is crazy. It's nuts. That's...
Yeah.
Like, where else do you go from that, yo? Like, it's insane.
Straight up full circle.
Straight up full circle, man. Yeah, like, Wu-Tang, they're bigger than music. They're, like, everyone knows who. They're just iconic, legendary. So, the fact that they were down to fuck with us, like, out of all people, bro. Like, I don't remember the last time Wu-Tang was all on one song, you know? So, and the fact that they fucking with us, that makes me so happy. Honestly, it makes me so happy. That the real recognize real, I guess. So.
For sure. And I think I can't speak for them because I haven't talked to them about it, but I feel like it's kind of a tip of the hat to, I think, a new generation who appreciates the foundation.
They appreciate that.
I haven't talked to them about it.
Yeah, you don't want to speak for them.
I don't want to speak for them, but I feel like somebody who comes from that generation, like, I know that lyricists from back then appreciate cats that are carrying the torch for lyrical stuff.
I hope so, man. Like, cause like we look up to them so much, and I hope they feel like that, like that they can appreciate and give us the nod. So.
Right. I mean, you're on the track
Yeah.
with them,
So yeah, I guess they do so, man.
Without
No,
talking to them, I'm gonna take a leap and just say like, you know, real recognize real.
Man, no, that's it's really like probably like the best feature like we've ever gotten. To me, it's just so. But it's also like I can produce a song for Wu-Tang, and then we got a joint with Haley Steinfeld that I produced. So it's like I like that I can show like all sides. Even on the Young Sinatra, we can show still show some
DC shit.
Yo, can we talk about that Wale verse though?
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest verses I ever heard Wale spit.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to Wale since the beginning. Like he's a hometown hero back home. So, and you know, shout out to Wale for fucking with us too, man. That's just like really cool that we can get these people that we looked up to and like not even just like give us a bullshit verse. Like they all went off.
Right.
And it's awesome. It's really cool that we got that respect.
I'm glad that finally happened too. I feel
Me
like
too.
that's I was just in DC 2 weeks ago, and like I feel like that's just to see kind of like.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
the different pieces that kind of like help the scene come up on the track.
Yeah, yo, like we called it 100 Miles and Running because that's one of the mixtapes that inspired us back in the day, you know. And like man, there's a lot of songs on this album. Like we pay homage, man. Last Call, iconic, 100 Miles and Running. These are stuff we did on the old mixtapes where we paid homage to the songs we like. So it ain't nothing new. It's just on a bigger scale now. Which is great with actually like the features that we want,
right?
You know, like having those connects and making it happen. So shout out to all the features. Like it's really awesome that we can do that.
When I first heard this song, I thought the Wu-Tang was a sample, like Wu-Tang, but I actually heard that it's not.
Yo, it was all of us. It was literally all of us on the studio bus, man. All the homies, Justin, Jordan, Pepe. Myself, Bobby Campbell, Bob, Mike Holland, like whoever we can fit in that small room, we were doing it. And like Logic loves
doing it. Like what were you guys doing?
Logic loves to like involve everybody on like chants and stuff. There's other songs like even 100 Miles of Running where at the second verse you hear like Schwai go like damn like in the back or like Jordan or somebody. So like he always loves involving everybody, and that was just another thing where. They know, like once you get called in the back to do it, you just, like 1, 2, 3, and then you say what he wants you to say, and you don't question it.
But how did you guys get it to sound like it could be?
Bobby Campbell, man. Yeah, he just like just like the stacks and just we kind of were far back and like yelled on some like gang vocal like if we were out like you know and just woo tang woo and yeah now all like once you have like a lot of people like saying it. It's gonna sound hard, you know. So that's what it was. And over the beat, like the intro, like with the gross beat, like that already set the tone with the knives, like, and then you'll hear in your head like, woo tang woo with the drums and shit. I gotta bring that back with the drums. Tang woo tang woo. It just kind of like you rocked with the beat, and they all killed it. Honestly, like all the homies killed it.
Yo, I thought that was a sample when I heard it.
Everybody did.
I was just like,
everybody did.
I was like, yo, where did you pull that from? And he was like, oh no, that's us. We recorded it. I was like, yo, that's insane.
Yeah, no, it's really funny. Like, if you like saw us in the room doing it, looked around, like see all the different types of people, like chanting Wu-Tang. Like, imagine Wu-Tang saw that. I feel like that they would think that was cool. Like that their music touched like. So many different types of people, you know. It was like I remember thinking that in that moment, like looking around, like we all look really rare, chanting Wu-Tang right now, but it's gonna be epic. So that's the story behind that.
Did anybody videotape that? I gotta see this shit. Is that coming out?
I think J Fly got that.
Right.
Yeah, I think J Fly got that. Yeah, that's like classic footage because it's, yeah, man, like that's something that you don't need to ask anybody for anything. Like figure out a way to do it. Like if you wanted something to sound like some Wu-Tang shit, figure out a way to do it. And like we've been doing that our whole like careers, like figuring it out and making it and fooling people sometimes, which is a good thing.
If you can make it sound and have the feel of a sample on your own, I mean, I think ultimately that's kind of like the win. I mean, I think it's great to sample. I think it's great to, put money in, other artists too,
Yeah.
pockets. But it's like if you want to survive especially as a young artist, it's like you got to get creative sometimes. Like you can't give
that's the
up
fun
on
of it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the most fun, man. Trying to problem solve, figure it out, and that wasn't even an issue. Like, could we not do it? Like, we knew we could do it.
Right.
We've done stuff like that before, right. So it was just, yeah, it came out really tight. It came out really tight. Yeah.
It's funny when I interviewed Khalil, he showed me how he made an orchestra sound from like 3 or 4 people.
Oh yeah, just stacking. Stacks.
He was like, it's all about stacking.
It's all about stacking. Yeah. Yeah. It was and combined with like, Logic always sound designed. Even when he was on Adobe Audition, like he always. That's why you hear like those drops in the mixtapes, like the Master at Work and stuff like that, because like that's what he did. Like he would put like he would do the chants himself, and he would make his own skits and put them in songs. So like we've been doing that. Yeah. It's cool that like we can do it again, but like actually like say some Wu-Tang shit and then have the entire Wu-Tang on it. It's unreal.
Do you think that partially that comes from his love for movies? Just like
100%.
kind of scoring and like
100%.
thinking about like, painting all these different pictures?
Yeah, even Wu-Tang songs back in the day did that.
Right.
Like if you listen to 36 Chambers, like every song on there had a skit.
Right.
Or like, they sampled the old Kung Fu movies and stuff like that. So that's what we wanted to channel, and like, I think that was we could have sampled them doing Wu-Tang because they probably did it, but that's no fun in that. We'll do it ourselves.
And now you have a story to tell. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, I guess I can say I'm rapping on a Wu-Tang song. Wu-Tang too.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's once again, man. Shout out to Wu-Tang. It's still crazy. As you can see, I'm still like mind blown.
Yeah, it's fucking legendary. All right, so we just finished talking about the album.
Yes, sir.
And now it's time for a little Q&A with the fans.
Q&A, yeah. Tweeted you guys to send questions in.
And you guys sent a lot of questions.
Yo, you guys went ham. Thank you.
Yes. So we're going to go 1 and 1.
Okay.
You're going to pick one, then I'm going to pick one.
All right.
And we're going to answer as many as we can, time permitting.
All right, cool.
You want to start?
Yeah, okay, so